Hello everyone, I am going to keep this short and sweet this week. Your task is going to take you, hopefully, at least 2, if not the 3 periods that you have for modern studies this week. Now, obviously, as teachers, we are very much recommending that you follow your timetable. However, I'm also aware that sometimes you get stuck into things and you just want a 5-10 minutes extra. If you end up completing the task early because you're enjoying it or you're getting into it, that's not a problem. But please remember to go on to your next class on your timetable so that you don't miss any work that is there. The task is designed so that when done properly, it will take you the week. This is what we would have been doing in class. You have a choice on how you present this item, and I am going to very briefly take you through it. For some of you who are happy to read the instructions on the slide, you might not want to watch this video, that is okay. But for some people who just want some clarity, who want me to just go over it a little bit, sometimes it's easier when you listen and you're not just reading it, you can keep watching the video. It is a task based on the lifestyle factors we have looked at in the previous few weeks. Essentially, what we have been doing since January when you came back to school, the start of January. I am saying that you can present this how you like. You could do it as an essay, as a written piece, as paragraphs, as mind maps. You could do it creatively if you're quite into arts and crafts. You might do a storyboard where you're showing different things across a timeline. You could do a timeline. You could create characters that fit a stereotype. So a stereotype being someone who is a heavy smoker and is going to need lots of NHS help versus someone who's never smoked a day in their life. You can do it on a PowerPoint, you can do it on paper, you can do a poster, a leaflet. So for a leaflet, you would just fold it in half or fold it into 3. You could do a news report. If you decided to do a news report or you do decide to film something, please don't worry. It will only be the teachers that see it. We're not going to make you do it in front of the class or show it to the whole class. But you might want to record a news bulletin if you're a budding journalist, or an audio description. So you might want to use your phone and use voice notes or something on there. You might make a PowerPoint. You might do it in your jotter. It's totally up to you. Think about how you learn best and what's going to help your knowledge. This is an assessment piece. I'm not saying you have to do it all alone in silence like a test, okay? But this is going to show off to your teachers what you know and prove if you have met kind of the standard we need you to meet for this outcome. Now, you might be going, what is she baffling on about? What are we actually doing? You are going to choose a lifestyle factor that we have studied. Now, the ones we've looked at are smoking, alcohol, drugs, obesity, and money. Money is a bit more challenging, but it does fit into there. Please note, you're not doing gender and you're not doing geography. The reason because they're not always lifestyle factors. You can't choose that. You make a choice to smoke or to drink alcohol or to take drugs. So that's a lifestyle factor. You're going to create something. Now here on the slide it says a leaflet or poster, but you have free choice. Be as creative as you like. If you want to take time away from the screen to do this, please go for it. That would be super healthy and good for you. So you're going to create something that discusses the impact this factor has on people in the UK. Basically, what is smoking? Why is it so bad? What problems does it cause? Why is it potentially the worst lifestyle factor that there is? How does it affect people who choose to smoke? Does it have a wider impact? Now that's one more for those of you women for level 4, level 5. What we mean is if you're smoking, is that increasing taxes for Joe Blogs down the street even though they've never smoked a day in their life? Does that have an impact on other people? We did a little bit of individual versus society a few lessons back that will help you out, so go back and have a look at that work. We're looking for you to tell us about this one. Now, if you are level 4 and you're really, really wanting to challenge yourself, you might want to pick 2 and compare them. That is a challenge and it is an optional challenge. So you would want to give us all the information about smoking, the impact it has, the NHS, the government, what they're doing about it, and drugs or obesity. Any choice is your choice, but you might compare them and say, actually, this one is worse because this one needs more money from the government because. If, however, even if you're level 4 and you're wanting to do national next year, you can stick with 1 and still meet this criteria. So what do you have to do? Depending on the level that you think you're working at and based on the feedback from your teachers as well, you should know roughly where you're sitting. If you don't, my best advice is to aim high. I know I would much rather see someone attempting the level 4 criteria, getting all of the level 3 and a bit of level 4, but they've maybe not finished it. That's absolutely fine. This is not an all or nothing, Anna. You must do all of the 4. No, if you want to give it a bash, go for it. Level 3, you need to be able to identify the factor, explain why it causes ill health. Don't just say, oh, smoking is bad. Okay, why? You need to really tell your teacher the why. What does it cause? What does it lead to? You need to explain why there's an inequality link to this. Are poor people more likely to smoke? Is it because healthy food's really expensive? Is it because men or women are more likely to suffer from something? So you're telling us why that factor also makes an inequality. Think about age, where people live, how much money they have, what they can afford or not afford. You then need to answer the question, should they receive the same NHS treatment as anybody else, or is it their fault they're ill? Now, I know my class, we've had some discussions about this already. That is an opinion question. There is no right or wrong answer. Teachers just want to see you make an opinion and tell us why. For level 4, you need to do all of that plus what you see on the box on the right-hand side of the PowerPoint there as well. So there's a little bit more to it, okay? You need to be much clearer with your opinion. You'll also see on the last slide what your teacher will be marking, and we're looking to see if that means you're working at level 3 or 4. We will be keeping all your submissions, so when you send it to us, it saves on the teacher's own Google Drive as well as a copy of your work. So we'll be keeping that so that if we need to look back and go for national next year, oh, were they level 3 or 4, we'll know where you are. Any questions this week, please just ask your teachers. Just let us know what we can do to help. You will have your live session, but this should take the majority of the rest of your time if you are doing it correctly and giving it the true and proper amount of time that it deserves.